This is Burnt House, it's Wednesday and it's time for a new music related video. There's always some debate around what a music producer actually does, and it's definitely depending on the environment you're working in as well. The roles can look completely different depending on the setup. Just compare like someone like Rick Rubin to Quincy Jones or Diplo. They're all producers but with very different approaches. If you're just starting out, these are some solid areas to get familiar with as an independent producer. If you do like the content, please hit the like and subscribe button. So let's start. So number one, writing. So ideally learn some theory, the basics of music, chord progressions, circle of fifths, those sort of things, and just try to get familiar with that. I mean, you can start a song with just a chord, 2 chords, 3 chords, and just put a beat on it, or whatever. But start with the idea. It could be a melody, a beat, lyrics, or whatever to get the track moving. Check out the genres and the styles that you're really into. This is really, really important. Take a deep dive into how those songs have been written. Break them right down and analyze them as much as you possibly can. The next step, number 2, would be recording. And it is important, in my opinion, to find out and to discover what instruments are used in the particular genre that you have chosen, and also what you're actually recording through. Like what gives you that 80s sound, or what is it that gives you that sort of hip hop sound that you're looking for? Like, can you record through like an old tape machine to get that sort of vibe, or do you have an MPC? Like if you're doing hip hop, like it is super important on what you're using to record and how to record it. For example, vocal chains. Of course you can go through a cheap microphone and you can do all that stuff, but if you want to sound like, I don't know, Beyonce or someone like that, then you're going to have to sort of think about what vocal chains she's going through. And everything changes again with genre. So really deep dive. You can check out, there's a few good websites out there, like Equipboard, I think. There you can go into like, I don't know, click on any producer or any artist and it'll tell you what equipment they use. Really quite useful. You want to be looking at what DAW they're using. This is really important. Depending on what kind of producer you want to be or what kind of music genre you're into, you will need to get good at a DAW. Some are better at certain things than others, but on a whole, they all do pretty much the same. So just get as good as you can. Okay, number 3, producing. All right, again, this is sort of goes a little bit hand in hand with what I was saying with recording. A good producer would be on top of that kind of thing. Like if you're recording grunge music, producer would be like, right, okay, we want a Vox amplifier with, a Jaguar guitar, do you know what I mean? And we're using a SM57 to record through it, and I want it going through the 1073 Neve. Do you know what I mean? Just so you get that sound, and this is kind of the producing stage. The song's already written and the producer is coming in and he's working on the arrangements, the sound design, the structure, making sure the song actually all works together. For example, like Rick Rubin, he's known as the reducer. He goes in and he strips a song right down and leaves what he thinks is the core of the actual song. And there's many ways of doing this. They might find different ways to do like transitions, for example, things like that. It's really sort of going in depth into the actual song and trying to get it really just to sound as good as possible. Okay, number 4, which is the one that I get really frustrated with, is mixing. Just getting the levels right. It's all very well to just say get the levels right, and to be honest, like half of it is getting the levels right, and that's not really the biggest problem. It's trying to get everything to pop out and to like the vocals to really come out, and to also involve some of the producing and into that, you know, like synthwave, you know, trying to get enough reverb on there to sound like a synthwave track, and then getting the vocal to actually fit inside the mix, those sort of things, using the right compression, effects, making sure everything sits just right and nothing's fighting for space. And this is when EQ really comes into play there. There's plenty of YouTube videos to help out with the mixing side of things, and it is just time and patience with mixing. The other thing is the mix is so important if you want a good master, and there are certain techniques. I think like Dr. Dre said once, you should always mix your vocals 2 dB above your final mix, especially in heavy bass music, because when you actually start mastering, all the bass frequencies pop out and it will cover your vocal if they're not sitting a little bit above in the mixing stage. So that's quite a nice tip. And then obviously number 5, which would be mastering. These are the final adjustments, and flicking back into your mix to get the master right is also quite a nice idea. Start mastering, do a rough master, pop back into the mix if there's anything else and just tweak it slightly. And then go into the actual mastering phase when you're totally happy with your mix, and making it all loud enough, consistent, and ready for a release across the platforms. Which, again, there's plenty of YouTube videos on that as well. And now number 6, which brings us to the business side of things. Registering your work, collecting royalties, uploading to distributors, running promos, and managing your brand. It's the managing your brand bit that sucks, in my opinion. Like, registering your work's easy. Collecting royalties is an absolute ball ache, and I am going to do a video on that, because there's so many unclaimed royalties out there that I think a video is essential for that. But it used to be much easier to collect royalties because there was less. Now you've got like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and every time someone plays your song in a YouTube video and all that kind of thing, you've got extra set of royalties. Uploading to the distributors is easy, because that all just goes with, registering your work with, DistroKid or whoever else you're using. Running promo, I mean, there's plenty of websites to do that, but this is all kind of, stuff that you really need to focus on. But in the reality of being an independent producer, these are 6 key things that you should be looking at. If you're in the middle of that process, keep going, and it is a bit of a mission, all for getting 0.001 cent for each play. But it's also quite satisfying, especially when you get a song that really hits. But thanks very much, guys, and stay tuned for more every Wednesday. And if you got this far, please hit the subscribe and the like button. Much appreciated. Have a good week.